What's up, what's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, and welcome in to the Wednesday edition, the Hump Day edition.
Hey.
I don't know why I did that. I am joined with my co-host, Soapy Muffin.
Hey!
Soapy, you looked like you had a look on your face like, why is Ricky just doing humping motions for Hump Day?
Yeah, I did not need to see that.
Oh, I mean, I don't think anyone needs to see it. Do people want to see it? Certainly.
No. No.
No, nobody wants to see that. But
That paired with half the DMs I get when you're getting ready to hop in Discord is more than I've ever needed to hear and or read, see, experience in my life.
So I will share with the masses out there. JD had hit me up and he's like, hey, want to get in Discord? And I was currently taking a poop. That's what I was doing because, you know, after work, that is how my cycle is, Soapy. I go to work, I come home, I eat, I poop. That's just how things work. I'm a very regimented guy. And I was like, yeah, and I won't say the exact text I sent, but it was basically like, hey, let me, like, after I wipe my ass. And I'm telling you, you and Jake would have sent me like a didn't need to know that. JD was just like, okay, I've come to accept this. That is a Ricky response when you text him.
Yeah, I wish that wasn't the response. I wish it would have just been like, okay, yeah, give me like a couple of minutes.
Yeah, give me a second. No, see, that's the problem with me, Soapy. It's some people say it's my charm. Some say it's my curse. I'm an oversharer. I share too much.
That's definitely a
Soapy.
curse.
Like, some people think it's a charm. Some people are like, dude, Ricky's just a lovable guy. He hides nothing. He's got nothing to hide. He's just a sharer. That's what he is.
Oh, don't share.
Sophie's like, please, nobody needs to know that. But we got a jam-packed show today, so be talking a little bit of movies, talking a little bit of TV, talking a little bit of games, some games that you like, some TV that you will not like. That we didn't talk about earlier in the week. Soapy may go on an angry rant in this show.
Oh, it's not a maid. It is. There is one coming. It's just we got to get to it.
We just got to get to it towards the end of the show. But before we get into everything, make sure to join the Discord down below if you want to talk to us and everyone a part of the MVP community. That is free down below in the description. If you want to support us, patreon.com/MVPvids is how you can go ahead and do that. And also hit that like, that subscribe button, and that notification bell to stay in tune to everything going on here at MVP Entertainment. But Soapy, we turn our attention to the gaming side first today. We've kind of focused a lot on TV and movies with our headline topics. This is the first time on White Men Can't Dumb. First time I've said the name. Got to get used to saying that. The smartest show or smartest podcast on the internet. First time we're talking about gaming up front, Soapy, and that is because Elden Ring comes out this Friday. Over on Metacritic, this is from IGN, the PlayStation 5 version of Elden Ring has a score of 97, tied with the likes of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, GTA 5, Metroid Prime, and more. Only 4 games have ever scored a 98, and The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time stands alone at 99. On OpenCritic, Elden Ring is currently tied with Super Mario Odyssey for the highest rating on the website at a 97. Soapy, my question to you is easy. At first, I was going to be like, is this the clear Game of the Year winner? No, we're not going to go that low. That is below us today, Soapy. I will ask you this. Is Elden Ring going to be the best game ever?
Okay, I'm reserved on it because the fact I do have the stance of how about we give it to the public before we start declaring it's the greatest game ever. Where obviously people have to remember, critics tend to kind of be more favorable towards some games. Where, you know, we got to kind of go into it with that. Mm-hmm. And as well, I'm telling you this right now, on launch that score is not staying in the 90s. And I'm not saying that because I want the game to fail. Because
you think bugs are going to reign supreme.
No, I don't think it's bugs. Okay. It's people who are fucking dumb and buying a Dark Souls game and not realizing it's Dark Souls. We're getting Cuphead 2.0. It should have an easy mode. Oh. The game's too hard. We're getting that again. I promise you, we're gonna get this game's too hard. We're getting that crowd again, and I'm not fucking looking forward to that. And you'll get the, why does it not have an easy mode? It's like, I don't know, how about you get good at video games?
Yeah, I remember I was talking to Tim, and he was like, "Well, oh, it sounds like a cool game. It sounds kind of like it's got some like D&D aspects to it, like basically being like a fantasy like setting." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, it's gonna be fucking awesome." But then as soon as I said, it's like, "Yeah, like playstyle wise, it's kind of like a Dark Souls game." He's like, "Oh no, fuck that. That ain't for me." He's like,
Yeah.
"That game ain't for me. You can play that one alone. I do not need to buy that."
Yeah, and I mean, and that's the thing. A lot of people had to remember this is a Dark Souls game. It's not labeled as Dark Souls, but it's a Souls game. Like, it's gonna be challenging though. Granted, they talked about it's easier than the other ones, but like, it's still gonna be like challenging at least.
Yeah.
Because even like Dark Souls 3, that's not even that hard, still has a good amount of challenge to it.
Don't you expect that though from a game like that? Like, you want a game that's going to give you challenge. You do not want a game that's just going to be, well, that was fucking easy.
Well, you also have to remember there's people who are fucking stupid and act like every game has to have an easy mode.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, hey, I get it. Not everyone is good at video games, and I'm not saying you have to be. But just saying, how about you earn it? Don't play it easy like a little fucking baby. You just get good at the game. I'll shit talk anyone who complains about not having an easy mode. I will.
Well,
because there's literally a thing in the Souls games. They make fun of people who say the game's hard. Literally throughout the game. Like, the concept of going hollow.
Don't you wear a chicken head if you, like, turn it down to easy or something like that?
No, that's in Metal Gear. Metal Gear's the one that they put the chicken head on if you die too many times and you lower the difficulty.
Yeah, okay.
But in Dark Souls, like, they have a whole concept of where they call it, like, going hollow. And literally, that's going hollow is just you being a baby and giving up.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if this is just on my end or your end, but the camera's doing some fun stuff.
On my camera?
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know if it's on my end or not, but...
How about now? Does that work? On my end,
yep, it was fixed.
Okay. Yeah, on my end, I was like, no, man, I'm cool.
Maybe it was just me. Like, I started seeing, like, pixels appear. I'm like, alright, like, Satan's gonna come through the fucking thing and come get me.
I'm like, no, man, on mine, I look clear. But, I mean, I've had, like... We've had this conversation on this channel before. The last time I've had it, I don't think you and I have. I think it was Johnny and I when we talked about Cuphead, where call me a boomer gamer or gaming boomer if you want, even though I'm a millennial, where I don't know where we went in gaming, and yeah, this is a little bit away from Elden Ring being the best game ever, but when did we go away from just because you bought a game doesn't mean that the developer is entitled to give you the ending? Like, I shouldn't say give you the ending, but back when it was like Sega, Super Nintendo, if you weren't good enough to get to the end of the game, touch grass. You weren't good enough to get to the end of the game. And that's just how it is. To where it's like, have we gone into, and I don't want to say like a soft gaming culture, but like, when did we make this turn into just because I bought the game, I deserve the ending? Like, gaming used to be, hey, if you're not good enough, guess what? You don't get to see the ending. How about you watch it on Twitch?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have kind of gone into an era of where, like, I don't want to say entitlement, because obviously, like, I get it. Like, if I spent $60 at a game, I want to be able to fucking experience the game. But at the same time, it's also go into a game doing research. Don't just dive into it and be like, oh, the game's too hard, make it easy for me. Like, no, it's literally the whole concept of Dark Souls is just dying over and over again and learning the game as you go. Like, there are very few people that have, like, picked up Souls like that and just out of nowhere, they're just really good at it.
I mean, hey, I'm going to be picking it. I have never played a Souls game. This will be my first foray into the Souls environment. But yet again, I kind of prepped myself for what I'm getting into. I'm not expecting a game that I'm not prepping for.
Yeah, and that's just the whole thing that I just want people to do is understand going into buying a game of, like, the game's not bad because it's hard. You're bad because it's hard. Like, like, I'm sorry, like, I just hate when people complain about easy modes because it's like, okay, if you want an easy mode, don't play this fucking game.
Yeah.
Like, I just hate, and once again, this is still, ignore I'm holding a fork. I'm just playing with everything that's on this fucking desk.
He's got a fork.
I mean, trust me, I got a fork, I got a sock.
Oh, a sock.
Like, yeah, this desk is a fucking mess.
I was gonna say I got 2 socks on my feet. I've got a.
Yeah, I ain't picking my feet up because
I've got one of these next to me, a pot holder. Don't know why I have that next to me.
hey, it's a coaster.
Kind of thing that you put on your hand. You take the tray out of the oven. But go ahead, Soaps.
Yeah, like my whole thing is I just hate, and well, like I said, it's veering away still from the Elden Ring being the greatest game of all time.
Yeah.
I hate how it's like people try to disguise like not liking that a game's hard with like accessibility, and they're like, oh well, like this is accessibility like issue, like not everyone can play it, and it's like no, there's a difference between accessibility and availability.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, accessibility is like, okay, can someone who doesn't, and I'm not trying to be insensitive, I say, like, can someone who has, like, half of their hand play the game?
Yeah.
Probably not. But, like, obviously, like, you can change controls around, like, a lot of times, if you have half a hand, or you have a thing that's wrong with your hands, typically, they tend you to recommend with, like, one of the custom controllers or anything.
Yeah.
But, like, stuff like that, like, I hate how people mask, like, the game's hard, that's not accessible. Like, no, that's not it. Like, accessibility is like, can people with deformities, can people who like have, and I say deformities, I don't mean that in a mean way, but like people who have things that like epilepsy, like some people can't play games because of epilepsy, like, and they have options to turn it off. Like, obviously with games like this, they're not built for people who, like, and I hate to say it, like, and I know people can be like, oh, it's gatekeeping of the Dark Souls community and everything, but like, if you suck at the game, don't fucking play it. Because we don't want you here.
Yeah.
Because it's like, because you ruin the experience for everyone else when all you do is complain that the game's too hard. It's like, we've all been there. Every Dark Souls player who's ever played the game at some point has been like, this game is fucking dumb, it's too hard. Want to know what you did? You sucked it up and you fucking kept playing.
And that's the thing that I keep thinking about in my head right now is like, for example, if I'm going in and I'm going to play Spider-Man, well, if I play it on hard and it's too hard, then a game like that, it's like, okay, have an easy mode. Like, there are certain games that you can play as a casual gamer. Dark Souls games, Elden Ring included, it's probably going to be one of those games to where it's like, if you're just sitting there going, I just want to, play it when I'm bored on a Sunday evening, like, this isn't going to be the game that's probably right for you. Like, there are some games out there, Cuphead being one of them, that is like, I want a challenge. I want to test my gaming prowess. This is the game I can do that. Where there are other games where it's like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I can, like, GTA. I could throw that on, waste a couple hours, like, and then leave. Or like FIFA. Throw it on, play a couple matches. All right, I'm good. Dark Souls is not that game. Dark Souls is not the, hey, let me go on, bullshit around for a little bit. No, you're going in for a challenge. You're going in to be tested. And you might have some sweat on the brow after that encounter.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing over. It's, I think a lot of people need to understand the difference between like a casual game and a game like Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Like, a casual game is the, like I am going to use for example, like the Spider-Man games. Like, those are a casual game. Because they're meant for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, it's meant for every single person to be able to experience it. But Souls-like games, it ain't like that.
Yeah.
It's, you experience the game if you're good enough to experience it. Where, like, it's basically that, like, that euphoric moment of when, like, you finally get past a boss that pisses you off, aka Abyss Watchers for everyone who's ever played fucking Dark Souls 3 the first time. Like, that absolute bullshit fight. When you beat that, like, you're euphoric. You're like, thank fucking God. And then you go to like a super easy boss right afterwards, so you feel vindication. And then you remember, you never grabbed the peculiar doll, so you don't know what the fuck you're doing anymore.
Yeah. I mean, also, like, and yet again, I don't want this to be just like well, back in my day of gaming, but like, back in my day, when you played some, even like, I'm not even talking Sega generation when I was real young. I'm just talking like, even like PS2. If I got to a game, you hit a wall, Guess what I did? This is what I did. I put the controller down, walked away for a couple hours, or, you know what? I'm going to go play something else. Sometimes it's like even just clearing the mind get you to get over something. It's like, I want that in a game. I do not want just to be like, have my hand held through an experience, because then it just feels like I'm watching an interactive movie.
Yeah, and that's one of the things with the Souls games, that when people are like, "Oh, like why should I not be able to experience it?" It's like, well, if the game's easy, the story's not as impactful.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's literally like, I'm gonna use Dark Souls 1 for example. It's literally the fucking chosen undead overcoming absolutely fucking absurd odds. And like, because if you have it on easy, it's like, oh, everyone can do it. In reality, the story is telling you, no, not everyone can do it. Because like, for instance, like I'm gonna basically read off, like I'm gonna give like a brief thing
Go ahead.
of like the events of Dark Souls 1. You tell me if you would feel vindication if this game is easy.
Yeah.
You escape an asylum that is literally told to you at the very beginning that very few ever leave it. You then ring 2 bells that have not been fucking rung in like 400 years after killing 2 gargoyles that are defending one and killing one of the daughters of the Witch of Izalith. You then travel through Sen's Fortress, a fucking death trap of like puzzles and shit like that. You then beat the Iron Golem that's defending Anor Londo, a city of gods that no one has stepped foot in, and God only fucking knows how long. You then go through, beat the Royal Guardians that are guarding the fucking Princess of the Sun. You then, afterwards, go and kill 4 godlike beings. Then, to go back and kill an actual fucking god. And then either put the Eternal Flame out, or to fucking rekindle it for future. I'm sorry, like, it's more impactful if you actually, you know, have the game be hard, because, like, for instance, if the 4 Kings fight is easy,
Yeah.
like, this is the thing, in reality, it is an easy fight. Because literally, it's a DPS challenge of like, alright, do you do enough damage to fucking get through this quick enough? Like, the 4 Kings wouldn't be shit if you made the game easy. Like, that's just my whole problem with it. Is Dark Souls is meant to be that, like, okay, like, it's a euphoric, like, and you feel you earned the story. Like, if I play Spider-Man, I don't feel like I earned the story. I feel like I just kind of interacted with the game enough that it gave it to me.
Yeah, and like, I think that's what people kind of, I want to say, expect with games, period, of like, oh, well, you're telling me this hasn't been done, but my character's supposed to overcome these things.
Well, guess what?
He's supposed to do that because that's how the story is. And in actuality, it should be, holy shit, look at that. I am so fucking good that I am doing things that have not been done. It's kind of like a Roman Reigns acknowledge me kind of thing. Of like, or maybe a bad example because he's just fucking throwing people. And it's easy mode for him each and every day. He says acknowledge me like he does something of shock and awe. But like, it's more of this just like, holy shit, yeah, I am a motherfucking badass. I am the coolest kid on the block because I did that shit, y'all. I did that shit.
Yeah, and that's why I like in Souls games, they never give your character a name. You just get a nickname.
Yeah.
Like, you get to choose your character's name. It is you beating the story. Like, obviously, yes, the chosen undead kindles the bonfire. Congrats. That's all we know.
Yeah.
No one says who's chosen undead. It's just the chosen undead.
Yeah.
We already know in Dark Souls there's, like, fucking weird timeline shit, because Solaire's technically not in your timeline, but he is. Like, it could be any fucking chosen undead. Who knows? Like, that's just the part I don't like of where, like, when people expect a story from something, but it's like, they are telling the story that you are the one doing this.
Yeah.
Because without you, your character's still in the asylum, doing nothing. Just sitting in a cage, waiting for fucking the end of time.
True. Talking about storylines and everything, with Elden Ring, I hope it's good. I hope it's awesome. Will it be the best game ever? I don't think it tops that Ocarina of Time. It ain't gonna get that 99. We'll see what it's like after the public gets it. But the next thing we'll go into is talking about stories. Call of Duty, Soapy, is taking a year off. They're going on sabbatical for a year. As this is from The Verge. curated from Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, says there has been a new mainline Call of Duty title every year since 2005, but that will apparently change next year. Activision Blizzard is delaying a Call of Duty title that has been scheduled to release in 2023. Activision is pushing the game, which Schreier says is being developed by Call of Duty Black Ops maker Treyarch, after last year's annual release, Call of Duty Vanguard, didn't meet expectations. That led executives to suspect that it had been cannibalized by the previous year's game, Schreier reports. A recent SEC filing said that Vanguard failed to meet Activision's fourth quarter projections. Soapy, right move by Activision, or is this Microsoft saying, "Hey, yo, slow your roll here. Let's kind of delay this. Let's see where we're gonna go with the new envisioned Microsoft Activision."
I think it's a mixture of both. Like, I know they do the like, oh, it didn't meet expectations, motherfucker. No Call of Duty should. They all stink. They all fucking
They don't
suck.
all stink.
Every one of them sucks. Like, it's the fact that they all stink by the end of the year. No one's fucking playing them by the end.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can't be too fucking surprised that it didn't meet the quota, because lo and behold, the game was dead on fucking release. Be like, oh my god, we are shocked as a company that no one liked our dog shit game. I can't believe it.
Damn, is this the Debbie Downer episode from Soapy?
Absolutely.
Like, he's going hard at Call of Duty. He's going to go hard at Halo later in the show.
Yep. Every mainstream shooter's getting it. Battlefield's lucky it's not brought up on the show, or it gets some too.
Would it? Even though it put that trick shot in its trailer?
Yeah, because it turns out the game fucking doesn't work. So, that probably doesn't help. But like, yeah, I think it's a mixture of as well of like seeing where the company is at after the purchase is officiated.
Yeah.
Because obviously the purchase doesn't fully go through until next year. Where like it'll probably be like, okay, like once Microsoft buys it, it'll be like, okay, let's like go over like timetables for everything. Let's see, how this is gonna work. And like obviously, for instance, like they may be like, yeah, can that shit, dog. That shit's garbage.
Well, and I think the one thing that's important is I don't think Call of Duty needs to be every year anymore. And the only reason I say that is because of Warzone. Like, they could just make it to where it's like, all right, we're going to do a Call of Duty title every other year. So basically year on, year off, year on, year off. And they can still have things breathe because of Warzone. Because of how many people are drawn to Warzone. Now, like, I know there's people that are like, oh, you play multiplayer? No, I play Warzone. I don't even play Call of Duty. I play Warzone. So it's like, Microsoft may say, hey, let's go the Battle Royale style. Or the Battle Royale, that's what it's called, Battle Royale style. We're going to pump Warzone. And the games are going to kind of take a backstage seat to where it's like, yeah, every 2 years you get a new game. To where you don't need it because of Warzone.
Yeah, see, I don't think that's the route they're going. I think it's just, giving Activision a little bit more time. Because then, obviously, you give them more time. That gives Infinity Ward more time. That also then means that if you're keeping Sledgehammer, which I hope to fucking God they don't, Sledgehammer stinks. They haven't made one good game. But, like, you then give Sledgehammer an extra year if they're still making games. Like, it's basically, you put them in you put companies in a situation that it's like, okay, like, there's an extra year now, like, alright, fix this shit. Like, because that's the thing, Call of Duty's getting worse every year. It's like, on top of Call of Duty already being recycled every year, like, they cut features out, they make things worse, and then they're like, we don't understand why the community doesn't like this. Like, well, I don't know. Did you maybe not ruin the fucking game for 5 seconds?
I mean, I'm trying to think. The last Sledgehammer Call of Duty, has there ever been one? Because Modern Warfare 3, I don't remember being that good. That's the one that had the...
Modern Warfare 3 was Infinity Ward, by the way.
Was
Sledgehammer's the one that made Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, so they made Advanced Warfare, World War II, Modern Warfare, then Black Ops Cold War, and then Vanguard.
Yeah, no, it was they worked on those ones at least.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, they all stink. Everything Sledgehammer touches fucking stinks.
Vanguard was assisted by 4 other studios. Black Ops Cold War by Treyarch and Raven Software. Modern Warfare by Infinity Ward. And then Modern Warfare 3 was co-developed with Infinity Ward.
Yeah, so basically all I'm saying is get rid of Sledgehammer. They fucking stink. Put them on something else. Put them on like janitor duty.
Advanced Warfare, that was the one with the jetpacks, right? Where you can like
that was the one with the weapon variants that you could open in the that you could get.
Did not like that game. Did not like that game 2 bits.
I didn't mind it, but that's honestly their only good game.
I mean, I would take World War II over Advanced Warfare.
I still think World War II is like the worst one. So
really,
yes, World War II fucking blows.
It's no World at War, but like
it still stinks.
I feel like that one was way better than Advanced Warfare. Why do you think it stinks?
The whole game fucking blows because 1, Sledgehammer made it. 2, the fact that 99% of that game is waiting in a fucking lobby looking at people opening loot boxes. Like, just the whole concept of that game fucking stinks. Like, I genuinely hope Sledgehammer never makes another Call of Duty game, because goddamn, I could make a better fucking game. Put me in the fucking dev studio, I'll fucking find a way.
What would be
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but...
If you were making a Call of Duty game, what would be your ideal, like, setting?
So I've always been a fan of historical ones.
Uh-huh.
But,
that's why I asked, you are the historian.
Yeah. To me, I would touch on a war they haven't done. I mean, they kind of did a little bit. Like, I would do the Korean War. Because that was something that, I don't think we had helicopters at that point, but, it's like a couple years after World War II. Like, where, like, you still got people over there. You could deal with, all the stuff that, with dropping a nuke, probably still kind of had some lingering problems going on over there. Like, just kind of, like, touching a war you haven't done before. I'm so fucking tired of World War II. Stop touching it.
Have we done Vietnam? Because, like, I know there was Call of Duty Vietnam that was canceled. Okay.
Black Ops 1 was Vietnam. Like, I'm just saying, don't touch World War II ever again. If I see one more goddamn World War II game, I hope to God that game is the worst thing ever released.
So
every World War II game sucks.
What was funny here is I'm reading this. So, Call of Duty Vietnam, which was initially titled Fog of War, was a canceled installment. Was supposed to be for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. Guess who was developing it, Soapy?
Sledgehammer. Thank God we didn't fucking get that game.
Oh, did we not get it just because? Yeah, so in January 2011, it was confirmed that it would be canceled. Glenn Schofield referred to the game as most likely canceled in an interview in October, and then Sledgehammer went on to develop Advanced Warfare, confirming the game's cancellation.
Thank God it wasn't. Thank God that never released. That game probably would have fucking stunk.
Do you think it got canceled just because it was the Vietnam War? And like how controversial the Vietnam War is?
No, I think it's just the game probably fucking stunk and they saw how bad it was when it was coming out.
Soapy's just like on this fucking Sledgehammer sucks campaign.
Yeah, they fucking stink, dude. Sledgehammer can't make a single good game, dude. Get them out of the industry. Shut the company down.
Yikes.
Like, merge them into like fucking like split the group in half and just like send half of them to Treyarch, half of them to Infinity Ward.
Damn.
Like hire my dead grandmother to develop a Call of Duty game and she'd do better than fucking Sledgehammer.
Last bit of gaming news before we go into other entertainment stuff, Soapy. Apparently Legos from IGN has partnered with BioShock and Borderland publisher 2K to develop a series of Lego sports games. VGC reports that the partnership will produce several games, including a football/soccer game developed by Sumo Digital, the developer of Sackboy, A Big Adventure, and Team Sonic Racing. It also said an open-world Lego racing game is already in development from NBA 2K
so we're getting Lego Forza.
and WWE 2K developer Visual Concepts, matching previous reports of the developer advertising jobs for a game in the same description. Soapy, You love the Lego games. Is the sports genre gonna be the next big thing for the Lego franchise?
Maybe. I honestly don't know. I also love, by the way, that they were like a publisher of Borderlands and BioShock. It's like, you guys know 2K makes sports games, right? You can point out their sports game because they make them.
Oh.
Like, and also out of all the games, you mentioned BioShock. BioShock hasn't been in a game in like 8 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's an interesting call. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't mind it. Like, obviously, there's going to be kid-friendly games. Like, these aren't going to be like the, oh my god, like, this is dead serious. Like, it's like I made the joke, the open world racing one, that's just Lego Forza. Like,
Yeah.
we're just getting Lego Forza.
Forza 4 did have a Lego expansion.
Yeah, so we'll basically just get Lego cars driving around, and they'll be like, look at all the details on this cactus. It'll just be like a fucking Lego brick.
Which, I mean, hey, a Lego racing game entices me.
As long
More
as it
than a
handles
Forza.
better than the original pod racing from the fucking old Lego games, we're fine. Then I want to rip my fucking hair out.
When you said pod racing, I just thought back to the N64 Star Wars racing game, where it's like, this is pod racing.
Yeah, I was referring to the
Lego
episode
one.
one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, in the Lego one where, like, your fucking pod racer didn't listen to what you fucking told it to do.
Uh-huh.
It was just like, no, you're staying in the middle, whether you want to or not.
But, like, to me, the sports thing, I'm intrigued with it because I look at it and I go, it's going to be it would be kind of cool to see these athletes that you watch on TV as, like, little Lego figure. Like, could you imagine LaMelo Ball and Steph Curry as, like, little Lego figurines, like, dribbling the ball up, shooting it? They're trash talking, but it's in mumble mode.
And I don't think they do mumble mode for it, to be honest.
Oh, you gotta bring mumble mode, man.
I mean, yeah, they are bringing mumble mode back, so maybe they'll start to do that again. But they'd have to be careful with LaMelo. That man dropped the N-word on fucking WWE that one time he showed up. They gotta be careful.
That's why you're in mumble mode.
Yeah, he's the only one in mumble mode. Imagine, dude, Ant gets to say all the weird shit that he says in interviews, but in a fucking Lego game. Like, it's gonna fit now.
No, like, I don't know if these games will be for me, but I'm kind of intrigued. I'm kind of intrigued of what they're gonna look like.
I just want them to do Lego Rock Band again. That's all I want, dude. Just make a fucking Lego music game again. Lego Rock Band was absolutely fire.
Yeah. I mean,
you'd have to deal with the whole problem of, like, no one likes their music being in fucking video games anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
but they're working with 2K. They're owned by Tencent. Tencent will fucking shill out money to make money.
Can the world go wrong, though, with more Lego games? I don't think
Absolutely not. They're some of the most wholesome games on the market.
So, Soapy, moving on, we got some movie news, some TV news to end out the show. First off, the movie news. And I know that one of these stories is right up my alley. The second one is right up your alley. One is Star Wars, one is Marvel. Both are Disney. Go figure. We'll start with the Marvel one first because the Star Wars one will kind of segue us into the TV news. But if you watch the Doctor Strange trailer from the Super Bowl, there was a voice that you heard. There was the scene where Doctor Strange was in handcuffs and they were walking him up to what looked like 5 chairs or 6 chairs. And you heard a very familiar voice, Soapy. And that voice was one of Patrick Stewart, who, unless you've lived under a rock for the last, 20 years, Patrick Stewart was Professor X in the old X-Men movies and in, like, the Logan movie. Well, that pretty much has kicked down the door that the X-Men are going to be in the MCU. This is the first one that's going to be in. And apparently there is news that Wolverine could see himself in Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness. Now, it's not going to be Hugh Jackman, though. And I have my own thoughts on who should be Wolverine, Soapy, but I want to get your reaction first to what the internet thinks. According to Screen Rant, let me pull it up here. This supports the connected rumors of a new Wolverine will debut alongside Professor X seeing as how a new variant of Logan from an alternate X-Men universe would keep the closure of Hugh Jackman's Logan received intact. As a result, new fans casting posts have reemerged calling for Harry Potter alum and Weird Al biopic actor Daniel Radcliffe to take on the role of Wolverine, which largely began with fan art in 2019. Since then, new art pieces and cases have been made to support Radcliffe's casting, calling out his familiar height to Wolverine of the comics, his likeness when spotting a full beard, as well as the wide range of roles he's taken on following Radcliffe's completed tenure as Harry Potter. Soapy, I personally am not a huge fan of this. What do you think of Harry Potter bearing the adamantium claws?
I mean, it's very interesting. I'm also going to point out, Professor X may be coming. I'm just saying.
Yep.
Patrick Stewart also was Jean-Luc Picard.
He was.
You get Star Trek. Well, Picard will show up.
Did you hear the shit about Star Trek 4, by the way? Apparently they were like, oh yeah, we're going to be doing a new Star Trek movie. And fans were surprised, and the actors of the movie were also surprised, because apparently they did not know that they were going to be doing a new Star Trek movie.
Man, what a way to spring a new contract.
They're like, wait, come on.
All right, guys, here comes another one.
Say what?
Yeah. But no, I mean, it's interesting to say the least. Like, obviously, you know, they gave the case of, like, a similar height. He shares a resemblance. The only thing is, though, and when I think of Daniel Radcliffe, I don't think of a buff guy.
Yep.
I don't think of a guy that has served in a war before. Like, 'cause with Hugh Jackman, at least, it's like, okay, like, I mean, he doesn't look like a war vet, but, like, he at least looks like, you know, he looks like a tough guy. Like, Daniel Radcliffe, to me, doesn't look like a tough guy.
No.
I've seen that man walking around dressed around as Weird Al. That guy wouldn't fight anybody. Which, by the way, if anyone hasn't seen those pictures, you should definitely look that up, because it is something else.
What of
Daniel him dressed up as Weird Al.
I'll pull it up right now. I'll put it on screen.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It's just... all you have to do is just look up Daniel Radcliffe Weird Al, and you'll see him walking around set, and he's wearing, like, a fucking Hawaiian shirt. But, like, I don't know. Like, I don't mind it. Like, I like Daniel Radcliffe as an actor. It's just, it's one of those where, like, yeah, I like him as an actor, and, like, he has similar things, but it's like, is there someone else waiting in the wings that would be a better person that would fit it? To me, Wolverine's like a tough guy. Yeah. Like I said, Radcliffe doesn't give off the tough guy
vibe.
vibe.
Adamantium guy. That didn't work like I wanted it to. Keep going.
That was... Yeah. Yeah, like, that's just the thing. To me, it's like Radcliffe doesn't give off, like, the tough guy vibe. Like, it's the same thing of where, like, it was my complaint with Tom Holland as Nathan Drake, of where it's like, Tom Holland didn't look the part of what I'd expect Nathan Drake to look like. And I'm in a similar situation here. Like, obviously, like I said, love Radcliffe. I don't personally care for Harry Potter, but, you know, I like him as an actor in general. Like, you know, I don't think that... Like, I don't think he's bad. It's just, I don't think he looks the part, at least, for, like, the tough exterior part.
Yeah. I mean, for me and Soapy, I do have on screen the Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al holding his little bit of, what is that, iced coffee that it looks like he has.
Like, tell me, that man does not look like he'd fight anybody.
No, he doesn't. And I mean, the thing that you could say, though, is like, and I don't even know if he was a tough guy in this, where there was a movie he was in recently, and by recently I think I mean like 2 or 3 years ago. Let me see, I'm looking for it. Oh, Guns Akimbo. That came out literally right before the pandemic hit, but he wasn't really a buff guy in it. He was just a guy that had 2 guns like strapped to his hands, or stapled to his hands, I think was the precedent of that movie. Like, you're right, he's never played a buff guy. I actually have 2 guys that I have been standing for to be Wolverine when Hugh Jackman is no longer with it. Would you like my top candidate or would you like my second top candidate?
Let's go with the first.
My first candidate, I got to get his name
Chuck Norris.
because I don't remember his name. Jared Kiso from Letterkenny.
Oh.
Like, I think, like, I read a thing where it's like he's Canadian, he's loved Wolverine, he's a buff guy, like not like super buff, but like he could fit a buff guy character, like in Letterkenny. All he does is fight. Like, I fucking saw it, I was like, yeah, you know what? I could fucking see him as Wolverine. Now, is it going to be a different personality as Hugh Jackman's Wolverine? Probably. But, like, I could see him fitting the role looking like Wolverine.
Yeah, I mean, because he looks like a tough guy. I know some people are going to be like, oh, well, Daniel Radcliffe can't put on muscle because I looked it up to see if he ever was buff. And, like, it's just the fact that we're, like, he's one of those buffs where, like, you can tell there's muscle, but it's not like, oh, wow, that's big buff. Like, he's one of those of, like, oh, it's the scrawny kid hit the gym. Like, it's one of those types of tough. And, like, I don't get that from Wolverine. Wolverine is, like, I served in the fucking army. Like, I'm a big dude. Sorry, whatever branch he served in. I don't know Wolverine's story.
He served in, like, numerous wars. Because he's been alive for fucking ever, Soapy.
Yeah.
The other one is, I'm going to fuck up the name. Basically, Eggsy from Kingsman. What is it? Taron Edgerton. He's the other one. But, like, he's kind of like my backseat to Kiso of Letterkenny.
Okay.
Yet again, like, the thing I like about Edgerton is, like, I could see him buffing up for the character, but, like, these are also guys, maybe not Kiso. Edgerton, he's a shorter guy. And, like, that's the one thing, like, stature-wise, could fit Wolverine, and I think he's got the chops to actually play a Wolverine, especially if they want someone, because here's the thing with Wolverine. You're going to want to get someone young because he's going to be in the suit for, like, what Robert Downey Jr. was. What, like, 10 plus years, 20 years? Like, you're going to be in the suit for a long part of your life.
Yeah. Or, like, I think that is, like, I do agree with that part of where it's, like, you do kind of want someone on the younger side that's willing to kind of be through these movies for a long time. Because, like, for instance, you don't want to just hire someone as a one-off if they're never... Like, if you plan on never bringing Wolverine back, okay, sure, hire whoever the fuck you want to.
I mean, their whole thing about variants, I guess, works with the, like, one-off thing where, like, apparently we're going to get a Tom Cruise variant of Iron Man in Doctor Strange, but it's going to be like, well, that's a variant. We're never going to see him again. Or we might see him, like, once or twice down the road to where it's like, hey, we can bring this in as a variant, and then, okay, you're gone. We never have to see you again.
Yeah, where, like, that's the thing. It's just finding someone who wants to stay, I think, is going to be the hard part here. Or, like, not hard part, because obviously everyone's going to want Disney money. Like, Disney gets money for everybody. Yeah. Unless you try to get screwed out of a contract like they try to do with ScarJo.
Yeah. Well, that was more of times are changing, Soapy. That was
more... also kind of you should have told her that you weren't releasing it in theaters.
I mean, could anyone have predicted a pandemic, Soapy?
I mean, you could also restructure the contract when the pandemic happened.
No. That would be giving her money. Why would a company want to give away free money, Soapy? I honestly think that, yet again, for me, there will be one day where movie theaters sadly die. And everything is just through street. Like, there is...
Oh, you're taking the Nick Moraldo approach? Cinema's dead?
Well, the only way the cinema's dead is, like, I think there will be a day where Disney just goes, yeah, we'll just fucking sell it on Disney Plus. Because so many people do not like going out anymore.
Well, I think it's also just the fact everyone just knows theaters are bullshit. Like, I'm not paying, like, I mean, like, movie tickets, like, that part's understandable. I'm not paying, like, $15 for fucking popcorn.
But, dude, you gotta see it in IMAX. Popcorn. You gotta see it in the Ultramax with the big screen. I say this sarcastically, but yes, I do.
Some movies are better on the big screen than they're not.
Yeah.
Or all I'm saying is, I'm not paying fucking $11 for like a small popcorn. You can literally suck a fart out of my ass. I'll sneak my own fucking popcorn into the movie theater.
I love when you say that fucking phrase, by the way. Suck a fart out of my ass.
Like, I'll fucking sneak my own food. I'll sneak a fucking rotisserie chicken in there. Don't
Fucking,
test me.
You know what? What is it with my entertainment co-host where Johnny was one of those too? Johnny would like. I have a story of Johnny and the friends that we had that were his friends first from high school would literally sneak in like Taco Bell and Burger King into the theater.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking pay that much for fucking a candy bar and like I could go to the gas station and get a candy bar for like 1/10 of the price of what I get at a movie theater. Like I know obviously they have to make profits back,
Soapy,
but like
what about an icy? You can't get an icy anywhere but the movie theater sometimes.
I mean, hey, I'm just saying, dude. I live near a bunch of speedways. I'll sneak one in. I'm just saying that's the benefit of having a girlfriend. Dude, sneak them in through the purse.
Oh, you're so right. The purse is the way to go.
Or if I want to be a fucking weirdo, I could wear the fanny pack and fucking sneak it in through that. But like, I don't know if my dignity could handle that.
So, one thing I will say, moving on, is I'm gonna kick this one off to you because A, this is your topic. B, you proposed this for the show last time. C, we didn't talk about it last time. Apparently Disney's looking at another sequel or another sequel trilogy for Star Wars, and apparently we're still going to use Rey, even though all future Star Wars movies, this was the last Skywalker trilogy, we're not going to see them anymore. Insert Rey. Rey is linked to the Skywalkers, guys. It's hypocritical.
Yeah, I think what they meant by that is that the Skywalkers are no longer the main focus. I think that's what they mean.
Well, Rey's the main focus. She'll always be the main focus.
Yeah, but basically, the rumored new trilogy, for anyone who doesn't know the news, is centered on Rey's Jedi Academy, which, I mean, okay. Like, there wasn't really an inclination at the end of episode 7, not 7, of
10.
fucking 9, that she wanted to make one. Like, she just kind of was like, fuck it, I beat the Emperor.
I have a yellow lightsaber. Because that's how that happens.
Yeah, there wasn't, like, too much of an inclination of, like, oh, she wants to start a Jedi temple. Like, I know people will be like, but with Luke, it's like, well, no, but with Luke, he had a book that talked about him wanting to do that. Because he realized, hey, maybe I should teach people this. Like, because he was, taught to be a Jedi. Where, like, that's just the whole thing. Where, like, I'm not trying to just bash Disney Star Wars, because I do that already all the time anyways. But, like, my thing is just, I kind of hope with this one, with them not putting Rey as the main focus, if they don't do that, I'm interested to see their take on what they make the Jedi Order, though.
Yeah. Because
the whole thing is of where, like, a lot of speculation has happened, because obviously Rey didn't learn the Jedi teaching. Like, she doesn't know, like, oh, Jedi good, Sith bad. I mean, obviously, anyone who fucking watched the movie know Jedi good, Sith bad.
Jedi good, Sith bad.
Yeah, one choke people, one don't choke people. Like, like, they basically make it as easy as they can. But I want to see, like, what their interpretation of what Rey's Jedi Academy would be. Because I almost have a feeling they're just going to take what Luke's was in the extended universe and just make it Rey's.
Yeah.
And it's also just in my whole thing with it as well of, like, I know they're going to make their own custom things. The only thing is, please don't make an Empire clone again. I'm so fucking tired of the Empire. Of, like, when they're like, well, the First Order's different. No, they're fucking not. You just basically made them Nazis. That's the only thing you changed. The First Order were Nazis. You put Nazis in space.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
true.
You didn't have to. Like, when they have the General Hux giving the speech on Starkiller Base, I'm like, he's Hitler. You guys made Hitler.
Here's the only thing I hope for this trilogy, Soapy, is that they don't fuck it up like last time. Like,
I mean, that's a very broad hope.
They need to, and what I mean by that is, they need somebody, whether it's one director for all three, or somebody. They need somebody who's going to oversee this shit. They need what a Kevin Feige or a Russo's were to Marvel, to where it's like, hey, we've got 3 movies here, 3 different directors, but we have a plan laid out. We have a central head at the top that's kind of like, hey, you 3 are making these movies, but oh, no. You can't do that because this needs to line up here. No. You can't do that because of this that's going to happen here. Like, there needs to be somebody at the top kind of checks and balancing. Like, okay, does this make sense? Because that was my big problem with the last trilogy is I walked out of not A New Hope, Force Awakens, and I was like, you know what? It was basically a New Hope,
not too far off.
but I was happy with it. I was like, that was a good movie. Can't wait for where this goes. Then Last Jedi happened, and I wanted to blow my fucking brains out with a shotgun. Like, I hate that movie. I may hate that movie more than I hate the concept of the Snyder Cut for Justice League, which I have not watched still. I have boycotted that shit like the goddamn plague. Last Jedi, you can see my review on this channel. God awful, worst Star Wars movie in existence. And
That's saying something when episodes 1 and 2 of the fucking prequels exist.
And then the last one happened. And the last one was like, what the fuck is going? It's like, oh man, shit. Like, my aunt made the joke of Ryan Johnson got rid of that goddamn helmet from Kylo. What's the first thing J.J. Abrams did? We're bringing the helmet back.
Right back on.
We're bringing the helmet back. How dare you take away my helmet?
Yeah, but like, I mean, I do fully agree. I think also as well, and I'm saying it right now, and I know some people may not like it. Don't let J.J. Abrams touch these goddamn movies. I don't want more fan service.
Well, or if
don't remind me better movies.
If you're gonna have J.J. Abrams, yet again, have somebody who's going to oversee all 3 movies. Like, have someone above him if he's going to be the one directing it. So that it could be like, hey, you can add this fan service, but I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. Like, somebody that's basically going to be like, no.
Yeah, see,
bad JJ.
To me, it's
bad
JJ.
JJ.
Just keep JJ away from it. Like, this thing, I like JJ Abrams. I think he's an okay director. The only thing is, to me, he's a person that relies way too much on the fans already knowing something to make his movies enjoyable. Because, like, criticism of Episode 8, it's literally a fucking New Hope with new characters. Like, the exact same
You're
concept.
talking about 7?
Close enough. It's fucking bad.
8 was god-awful. Just
yeah, I mean, 8 shouldn't have existed. 9 was better than 8, but being better than a steaming pile of shit. 8
was basically just a heist movie.
Yeah.
And then we got...
8 set up a bunch of shit that they never even thought about.
You know what I just fucking thought of in my head? I forgot Superman was Princess Leia. Where the Force I can fly like Superman through space. It's like...
I still stand by it. They should have changed that when she died. They should have been like, yeah, no, that shit ain't staying. Like, and I know obviously some people would be like, oh, well, you know, like, she didn't plan on dying. And I mean, like, obviously, yeah, I hope to fuck God you don't plan on dying. That'd be a very fucked up way to go. I'm
telling you, I plan on, like, when my death comes, I'm going to plan
in the middle of this movie, I'm going. Dead. Like,
you
know, obviously, yeah,
that's a
don't
morbid
be dead. So, like, when she died, you should have been like, okay, we're changing this. She ain't the one staying.
Yeah. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy, pal.
Yeah. Because, like, obviously, they always have it to where it's like, you know, or at least with this one, it felt like they were going to set it up to where, like, one original character goes in every episode. Because, obviously, Han goes in episode 7. That's also because fucking Harrison Ford's a goddamn douche.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll only come back if you kill me. It's like, all right, cool. It's nice to know you came back to play your best character and hate it. So you can thank George Lucas for making your career, you clown.
Yeah.
But like, it honestly should have been, though. Like, obviously, I know Mark Hamill was extremely vocal about not liking the depiction of Luke, and that's probably why Disney's like, yeah, but you're done.
Yeah.
But like, they should have done it at least to where it's like, okay, when Carrie Fisher died, they should have been like, okay, we're changing this. Mark, you're staying. We're holding off the fight between you and Kylo till later. or either the fight where you fucking help them fight Palpatine because we just brought Palpatine back.
Yeah.
Because, I'm just going to point out, by the way, they ripped that from the source material that doesn't exist because they just pulled it out the ether.
Mm-hmm.
Our Disney idea wasn't totally an entire chapter of the books called The Dark Empire where Palpatine fucking came back.
Dude, remember, no source material. Kathleen told us that.
But then we take something from the source material and just act like we made it. Like, Palpatine never came
no
back
source
in the books
material.
besides when he did.
No source material at all. Did you know? Don't you know that Star Wars was created in 2022, man?
Yeah, there was never a single book written one. No, like that's the thing. It's just feel free to borrow things from Legends. Don't act like it doesn't exist. People love Star Wars Legends. Like I fucking would pay people money. Let me see Thrawn. Give me Admiral Thrawn. That's all I want. I just want Admiral Thrawn.
Just how giddy you got with the let me see Thrawn.
Yeah, I just want to see Admiral Thrawn.
Oh.
Fucking tease him in every goddamn show. Give him to me.
But dude, let's make 50 million YouTube videos about Dark Plagueis the Wise and how he could be showing up in a Star Wars movie.
We don't want Plagueis. No one wants him. I want Thrawn.
I remember the coolest theory that I saw that I'm like, yeah, I could buy into that, is that Jar Jar Binks was Dark Plagueis the Wise all along.
It may as well be.
That he was secretly a Sith because of how he jumped and how he was really not as dumb as you thought he was, because he knew by the Force where things were coming.
That's the only way you could explain how Jar Jar was important. But like that's the thing. It's just like I said, don't be afraid to borrow from the source material.
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys want to make your own like cool new thing. Like, just borrow from source material. You can literally have this new trilogy be the fucking the new group of people going against Thrawn.
Yeah.
Because you already hinted, and you already kind of were a little bit on the nose with how everything goes down after Episode 6, of where, like, the Empire shatters into multiple pieces and a bunch of warlords, and they're all fighting for power.
Yeah.
That's essentially what the First Order is an Empire contingency group. You want to know who else is a part of an Empire contingency group?
Who?
Admiral fucking Thrawn! Like, just have him be the villain. Because guess what? You can milk 3 fucking movies out of it.
Yeah.
You can make some shit up.
Yeah.
I know you already blew up the fucking Home 1. Fuck it. Make another one. Home 2. Do something.
Hope 2.
Like, that's just the whole thing of where it's like there is so much source material you can go off. Because, like, for instance, you can do the Yuzhong Vong invasion.
Yeah.
Because you have a Jedi Order now. Like, that was the thing that fucking ruined it before, is you guys killed off all fucking Luke's apprentices. They were like, nah, fuck the Academy. That shit's dumb. Luke don't need that. Kylo killed them all. It's like, okay, and we just, maybe for a second, you're like, okay, cool. The Yuzhong Vong were a concept people liked. Admiral Thrawn's a concept people liked. You already fucked up the Dark Empire by using it already with no context. But, hey, fuck it. You'll find a way to run it back. We'll bring back Palpatine again. Like, there's so much source material you can do.
Run it back, baby. Run it back with Palpatine.
Yeah. Run that shit back one more. Palpatine for a 3rd time. Let's fucking go.
Soapy, let the hate flow through you.
I mean, that's basically what's happening. I'm joining the dark side live on stream. But that's just the thing of where it's, have a situation where you use the source material. Like, you can change characters. Just do the fucking story.
My whole thing is I thought they were done with the Star Wars like the Skywalker saga, and then it's like, oh, we're gonna do it around Rey. No. Nobody I shouldn't say nobody. I don't want to see Rey anymore. I don't want to see. Oh, what do you call her? She's the biggest
Mary
one.
Sue?
Yes, she's the biggest Mary Sue. Like, everything just goes right for her. Like,
it's the same thing with Luke. Like, that's the one thing I hate when people like you just don't like Rey because she's a girl. I'm like, no, I also don't like Luke Skywalker either because he's a Gary Stew.
Yeah,
that's what right. Like, I like Anakin, but guess what? I also understand Anakin's a Gary Stew.
Yeah.
All the fucking Skywalkers are stupidly OP for no fucking reason. Anakin blew up with a fucking spaceship.
I mean, Leia just magically out of nowhere. Hey, I can use the Force in Episode 8.
All the fucking Skywalkers are bullshit at this point. Like, you can just make shit up with them and be like, yeah, I could fucking summon dimensional portals because I'm a Skywalker. Like,
were they like Wanda and Quicksilver when they were kids in the Marvel? Were like, making shit float and like running around like Luke with the lightsaber going like they were taught from a young age.
Like that's just my whole thing. It's
Well,
just part of the source material, please.
I think
Don't do original shit. You guys suck when you do that.
I think we need to end the show, Soapy. But before we end the show, I need a good old Soapy rant to end this show.
Well, damn! If that wasn't the good old one.
Well, there's another one. Like I wasn't expecting that because I don't have much to say about this, Soapy, because I'm not as
close.
Close.
Some spot on this desk to fucking slam my hands on it. Cause
I'm not as close to this topic as you are.
Put this on the floor.
But apparently I'm just gonna say the upcoming Halo TV show.
It's dog shit and shouldn't exist. Anyone who wrote it actually deserves to be castrated in public.
Will reveal Master Chief's face for the first time in history.
Don't. There's no reason we need to see Master Chief.
But dude, look, the Mandalorian, we need to see his face, brah.
Yeah, I totally need to see Master Chief's face. It's almost like the fact of the whole thing is, you are Master Chief! Like, this is the thing. I don't get why people are so obsessed with seeing his face. They're like, you want to know what he looks like? Motherfucker, he's explained as generic. He's a generic white guy. What do you want him to be? Some big fucking early white guy that's named Big Country or something? No, his name's John. He's a fucking tall white guy.
Nice throw to an Instagram reel. Big country.
Like, we don't want the 6'5" white guy with a mullet that, like, his girlfriend just broke up with him. He's about to fucking hit a home run. Like, Jesus. I don't want that. I don't need to see if he looks like that. You want to know why I don't need to see that? Because his look doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. I think it's cooler if you don't know what he looks like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't get why people are so obsessed with seeing people. Like, you know, there's this wonderful thing. You know, if you don't show the actor, you want to know what you can do, and it's the fucking actual cool thing that everyone wanted, but you're not going to do. How about, instead of showing, you know, not showing his face, how about you do this wonderful, absolutely fucking great concept of you don't show it, and you have Steve Downs play the fucking character.
Yeah.
You know, the guy who's the actual voice of Master Chief. No, I gotta have some random bumfuck nobody.
Well, it kind of reminds me, I'm going to go back to what we were just talking about with Star Wars. Like, yeah, I know Vader was shown at the end, but, like, the coolest thing about Vader for most of the time is you never saw what he fucking looked like. He was just so like someone like Master Chief can be so menacing and even intimidating just because you don't see what they look like.
Yeah, like what? Do I need to see Doom Guy's face to be like, yeah, that's a scary guy? Like, we know Doom Guy's fucking buff. That's all you have to know.
Doom Guy.
Yeah, we know Doom Guy / Doomslayer literally just fucking is a mound of meat and muscle that runs around and rips demons in half.
It just fits the story so much of that, like, Master Chief is a Spartan. Spartans are supposed to be like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Soapy, once you put the helmet on, you lose all emotion. Like, you are now a Spartan, you lose your individuality.
Yeah, it's literally at that point, you are a faceless savior of humanity.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Faceless
like, that
savior.
Yeah. Like, you don't... Like, obviously, yeah, there's Spartans who take off their helmets. They don't do it when they're around other random fucking people. They do it around each other. Because, lo and behold, they understand the fucking pain they went through of being kidnapped as a fucking child and experimented on.
Yeah.
Like, we already know, like, they're like, Master Chief has problems. I'm like, you guys are gonna fucking ruin this character because you're gonna give him PTSD before he's even fought in the biggest fucking war that he's been involved in. You're just gonna make some shit up for him and be like, he got scared one time and he's just shaking up. Like, yeah, the guy who took down the Covenant single-handedly is scared.
Yeah.
Like, literally fucking eat my dick. You guys are gonna ruin the show.
I will say the one thing that I would be okay with, if you're like, we've got to see him under what he looks like under the helmet. The only thing I would be okay with is if it's like a distanced back shot where it's like, let's say he's like at the mirror, all you see is the like back of his head, and he like takes off the helmet to where it's like, all right, you see he's a normal guy, you see the back of his head, you see the hair, but you see no face.
It's also people ignore. We've kind of already seen what he looks like before, and no one gave a shit.
Yeah.
Because I think it was Halo 4. They're showing flashbacks of when he was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You don't look that much different than when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, okay, we already kind of know what he looks like. He's a fucking ginger dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's also the fact though of like, what do they want him to have fucking luscious locks? Spartans don't tend to have long hair.
Yeah. Because you're
Most Spartans are fucking
come on,
buzz cut.
your head's in that fucking helmet all day. Like you don't want it sweating and then getting all like fucking wet.
Yeah, but it's like it's the fact of where
Moist.
most of them have like short hair. Like the men are buzz cut, the women have very short hair. Like I'll use from Halo Reach, like Cat.
Yeah.
Cat doesn't have like hair down past the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in a bun. Like the only time they added like hair in a bun is because they realized like people may be uncomfortable seeing a buzz cut woman.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, okay, like in Halo 4 and 5, like the female Spartans can have longer hair, and it's like that's not how it works.
Yeah.
You can have people be uncomfortable with seeing a fucking buzz cut woman because you want to know the wonderful thing that's called the thing that's actually real.
Because Spartans is almost like a cult, right? Or you could compare it to like a cult.
And it's not really a cult; they're like super soldiers.
Yeah, no,
It's
but
basically like
but like
they're like
what-
SEAL Team 6.
yeah, when I say like a cult, it's more of like I give up my individuality for the cause, for the group, for the Spartans. It's kind of like being a Marine. Spartans
A
are
little bit.
basically space Marines.
Yeah.
But not
Where it's-
not 40K Space Marines, actual Marines.
Oh yeah,
that are
no,
in space.
40K Space Marines would stomp Spartans into the fucking dirt.
Jesus Christ.
But
Chainsaw
yeah,
gun.
well, like that's just my whole thing of like we don't need to see his face. I don't need to see it. There's
Yeah.
no actual impact of seeing it. How about instead of showing his face, you fix the way Cortana looks? So she looks, like Cortana, aka blue.
Yeah.
Not a person, blue.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Every time more news comes out about the show, it's more and more dumb every time.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like they're focusing on things that no one's asking for.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know, because they whipped out the stupid silver timeline. I'm like, cool, so you guys are changing shit because you don't want to, you want to have it fit what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys didn't want to make a Halo TV show. You wanted to make a show that's kind of like Halo.
Yeah.
Like, that's the shit I don't like. It's like, if you're going to make a TV show about something, stick to the fuck, like, I'm not saying, like, stick 100% to source material,
Mm-hmm.
but, like, don't change intrinsic things like humans working with the Covenant.
Mm-hmm.
Because, lo and behold, I think it'd look pretty bad if you're waging a war on humanity and you're just letting a human walk around in your fucking capital ship for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't that kind of confuse, everyone else who's been told every human's bad?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's random humans just walking around, they're like, no, they're the exception. Like, no, it don't work like that.
They're the exception.
Like, that's the whole thing of where, like, they're gonna gloss over Halo's lore. Halo is one of those series that, like, you have to at least stick to mostly of what is already there. Because if you change things, like, for instance, if you have humans work the Covenant, the Human Covenant War makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because the fact that it was the Prophets basically crusaded against humanity.
Mm-hmm.
That's why everyone else is fighting humanity. The Golo don't give a shit. The Ungoi don't care. The Elites could fucking give less of a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Jackals are literally there because you paid them money.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing that just bothers me is they're gonna change shit to where it's like, you don't need to change that. Like, the Covenant works because it's an entire religious thing. And they are all crusading against humanity because humanity abuses the Forerunner technology.
Mm-hmm.
At least that is what the fucking prophets told them.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, Forerunners are fucking god people. Look at those guys. Don't touch the god stuff. That's my stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's the entire concept of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you have it that, like, you're only killing some humans because that one's good, like, like, you change things that make no sense because, like, the Ungoi aren't gonna fucking care.
Mm-hmm. Like you
Like,
said,
the Ungoi...
they're just not going to care. And the one group, the Jackals, are only there because you paid them. But, like, I wonder if it's Paramount. I clearly do. Because the thing I think about is, like, the Rugrat revival that they had. Was it bad? No. But, like, there were things in it to where it's like, that ain't Grandpa Lou. Why did you change this? Why did you change that? Why did this have to happen? To where it's like, it wasn't terrible. Like, I think this may be. But, like, there's a part of me that's like, is it just Paramount? Is Paramount not taking this as seriously and they just want, ooh, we just want this IP for our streaming service?
Paramount, how about if you want to actually compete with the, the actual better version
Mm-hmm.
of you, HBO? How about you try? 'Cause I'm sorry, like HBO is
Uh,
running away with this
dude,
shit.
they got Titans. They
HBO,
got the Righteous
HBO,
Gemstones. Like,
yeah, like HBO is running away with this shit right now.
oh, that pulled up right in front of us. Yeah,
Like,
like I'll pull it up right now. I will look at the fucking originals that HBO Max has.
yeah, like they're running away with it. I've been watching one of the originals right now,
Which
Raised
one?
Raised
Oh,
by Wolves.
that's right.
That fucking show is really
Are
good.
you watching the second one or the first one?
They're in the same,
Okay.
unless it's two different shows.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea. Like, apparently,
I know it on the cover. It has Raised by Wolves 2. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure that's just because the second season.
like Euphoria, people are talking about. Peacemaker, I hear, is amazing, and I have to actually fucking watch Peacemaker.
Yeah, like I've literally seen people say Pacemaker's one of the best shows ever.
Pace,
You know how
pace,
rarely I've heard that about
you
Paramount?
just said pacemaker. He's got something in his heart.
Well, I mean, hey, pacemakers are pretty important if you got bad hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I've heard people say like Peacemaker's really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I've heard like, and that's the thing of where like people are talking about like it being one of the greatest shows around.
Yeah.
What a shock! You know how long it's been since I've been able to say that about a Netflix show?
Mm-hmm.
Because 90% of them, and I'm sorry, people who like Netflix originals, 90% of them fucking stink.
Yeah.
It's like you get the occasional Squid Games that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, for instance, I remember it was like a lot of the stuff that they've been releasing. I mean, like, Witcher's been good. Like, I'm not gonna bash Witcher. Witcher's been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But like, outside of Witcher and Squid Game, none of their shit's fucking good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Paramount's just like they're kind of just throwing shit at the wall, hoping it sticks. Hulu's just kind of there. They're just like, hey, that's South Park.
Well, Hulu. The thing with Hulu is, and also with HBO, you've got on the DC side. Also, you've got Young Justice Phantoms, Doom Patrol, Titans, that I did not mention before. But like with Hulu, the weird thing with them is they're along with Disney. So like Disney owns Hulu, so like it's basically everything that is not appropriate
Disney
or
product.
well, not that it's not a Disney product, because like today when I logged into Disney Plus, when you go to the new section, the movie Free Guy, the Ryan Reynolds movie, is on there. That
Because they probably own the movie studio.
yeah, they do, but it's like the what people are saying is like, ooh, is that not appropriate for Disney Plus? Where like Disney Plus has always been like the more family side of things. If it's above like PG-13 and stuff, they usually go ahead and throw it on Hulu.
And I think it's more of like Hulu is for the stuff they don't directly own.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I mean, most of the stuff they own on most of the stuff on
Yeah.
Hulu they don't actually own. Where it's like all the stuff on Disney Plus is things they own. So like that's just my thing of where it's like if you want people to like your originals, maybe don't piss off the group of people
Mm-hmm.
that you're trying to bring in. Like if I asked an average person on the street, like, hey, would you watch a Halo TV show? They'd probably be like, what the fuck is Halo? Like
The fuck is Halo?
yeah, like most people don't know it. Like obviously, if you ask someone around my age who grew up with gaming and Halo being one of the biggest franchises, like okay, yeah, we're gonna know it. If you ask someone who's like 50, they're not gonna fucking know.
Mm-hmm.
Like the thing is, they're trying to cater towards like a group of people who aren't gonna watch the show.
Wait,
Like,
Letterkenny is considered a Hulu original?
yeah,
Huh,
it's not in anything else. So.
But like I'm looking at theirs, like Solar Opposites, basically Rick and Morty without Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Pam
It's
and
Rick and Morty
Tommy.
without Rick and Morty.
Yeah, Pam and Tommy is supposed to be good. How I Met Your Father is good. Letterkenny's good. You also have, let's see, Dope Stick I've heard about. Handmaid's Tale has been
I've heard
good.
it's good.
Let's see, Pen 15, A Teacher, which I have my own jokes about that aside. The Croods have their own thing. How to Train Your Dragon has their own thing. They brought back Veronica Mars. Like, Hit Monkey too. Hitmonkey's one I have to go fucking watch because that's a Marvel thing on Hulu.
Yeah, to where like, see, honestly, with those, like, I think the only one I'd consider like in like the I don't want to say upper echelon, but like the shows that it would be like classified as really good would be like Handmaid's Tale and like Letterkenny.
Yeah.
And now, granted, I'm biased because I like Letterkenny, but like otherwise, like the rest of them, it's just like okay, they're there. Like,
Yeah.
HBO, it's like if HBO puts out a show, it's like a okay shit, I gotta watch that.
Yeah, I agree. I
Lo and
totally
behold,
agree.
they put a lot of effort into their shows. What a shock! You try with something, people will actually like it.
I feel like the two that I have to watch, Disney Plus originals, and then HBO. Like,
Yeah. Like that's just the whole thing with me, is you have to like if you're making originals, like Netflix coasted on the fact that they made Stranger Things.
yeah. I mean,
Like they've coasted on that shit for so long.
Netflix is also going more into like the Love is Blind is more of a reality thing and the stand-up route. They have a ton of original stand-up, which like if I want to watch stand-up, I'm going to Netflix.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, and there's nothing wrong with that. The only thing is though, I hate when like people are like, oh my god, like this Netflix original is really good, and I watch it, and I'm like, this looks like a school art project. Like there are like I like The Witcher. Some of that CGI looks bad.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Netflix, you are a billion-dollar company. You're telling me you can't shill out a little bit extra to make the first monster you see in the show not look like it's made out of paper mache and
Nope,
fucking
can't do it. I don't know what you're talking about.
pixels?
Do not know what you're talking
Like-
about, home guy. Home fry.
Like, even at that, you can just do fucking practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
Tom Savini's still kicking. Fucking bring that guy in.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
go ahead.
like that's just the thing of where it's like, if you're doing a show, know your target audience. If you're making a Halo TV show, you're probably gearing it towards Halo fans. How many Halo fans are like, I want to see Master Chief's face. I want to see it.
Not
None of
many.
them.
Not many. And if you are someone who wants to see his face, let us know. I would love to know what you fucking think. Because
I don't care what you think. Your opinion doesn't matter to me.
Yikes. Oh, Soapy just hard no. Hard no.
Yeah.
Do not care, brah. Do not care. Do not care with you.
Do not care whatsoever.
Well, Soapy, I hate to do it, but it's that time. We gotta say goodbye for another.
And how's my blood pressure ever going to recover that we got to end the show?
Another White Men Can't Dumb, the smartest show on the internet. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to keep in tune with everything that's going on, and hit that notification bell so you are in the know of when we go live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. That would be, 5 o'clock on the West Coast. If you want to join our Discord, it is free. Down below in the description, you can go and talk to everyone from the MVP community. And also, if you want to support us, patreon.com/MVPvids. Want to thank you guys for everything you do. Let us know down below what you guys thought of everything we talked about today. Soapy and I will be back Friday to wrap up the week with a little Friday show for you. But last but not least, thank you for being as cool as you guys always are. And as always, have a good day, everybody.
Bye. I gotta like turn my hand, bring it over a little bit. One of these days I'll figure out how this camera works.